The clash of titans that Godzilla vs. Kong and Godzilla King of the Monsters delivered will be hard to beat in the battle between the titular Big Lizard and Rodan, Godzilla and King Ghidorah, respectively. But there could be more glorious things in Godzilla 3. Succeeding the movie's events and how Godzilla vs. Kong ended, it is most likely that we can expect the Godzilla 3 sequel. Recap. A MonsterVerse single universe has been in the works by Warner Bros. And Legendary Entertainment. The companies have been developing a plot where the well-known kaiju Toho and King Kong are the main characters. The release of Godzilla in 2014 marked the start of the MonsterVerse project, and it proved that the Titans are so giant that they are practically walking natural disasters. For the first time in the film, Godzilla was fighting the more malicious Mutos before escaping for 5 years into the ocean, a film that takes place in 1973 that was released by Warner Bros. And it presented King Kong to the MonsterVerse so that he could fight Godzilla in the 2021 film Godzilla vs. Kong. In the movie, the Titan is back in the game, so there won't be a need to wait until Godzilla 3 for Godzilla's comeback. The sequel will be directed by Adam Wingard, and it is based on the script written by Zach Shields and Michael Dougherty. The two Titans from MonsterVerse will be battling against each other in the movie. It will be an epic clash, since it's not possible for the two alphas to be alive at the same time, and their conflict is connected with ancient stories, which will be explained further on. There is a montage of headline news in the credits of Godzilla King of the Monsters about the events that will happen after the movie ends. Lots of Titans go back to dormancy, while Godzilla guards the cities against others. There were many benefits after the Titans returned, as Dr. Emma Russell noticed. The scientists discovered that their emission created a growth of mass vegetation and that they could use the leftovers as fuel. Although the montage brings new conflict, with headlines about seismic happenings at Skull Island and Titans being taken to King Kong's distant home, it hints at an epic fight between Godzilla and Kong. The Titans will battle in multiple big confrontations, which will eventually lead to the most important fight in the film. While Godzilla is the real winner in the consequent fight, he and Kong ended up having to team up to fight against Mechagodzilla, a man-made monster like Godzilla that was being managed by Ghidorah's consciousness. After Kong finds an axe in Hollow Earth, where many monsters live below the Earth's surface, he will be making the last move. After Mechagodzilla is beaten, Kong and Godzilla's problems are settled, with Godzilla returning to the ocean and Kong to Hollow Earth, while finally becoming King Kong. Based on the finale of Godzilla vs. Kong, as well as the fact that Godzilla can't die after fighting two formidable opponents, there is space for a sequel. The last arrival in the legendary MonsterVerse is the kaiju action film titled Godzilla vs. Kong, which is a follow-up to Godzilla King of Monsters and Kong. Some of the stars included in the sequel are Millie Bobby Brown, Alexander Skarsgård, Tyree Henry, and more. So smash that like button if you haven't done so already. But no, in all seriousness, here is everything you should know right now about the sequel Godzilla 3. Release date. There hasn't been an official announcement about Godzilla 3 by Warner Bros. Or any MonsterVerse film after Godzilla vs. Kong. But what is certain is that many new ideas are being developed. The MonsterVerse will take it easy for now with only 4 films released in the last 7 years, unlike the DC Extended Universe or the MCU, which release many films per year. Even though there hasn't been an improvement in the production since 3 years have passed between Godzilla and Kong Skull Island, 2 years between Godzilla vs. Kong and King of the Monsters, and also 2 between Godzilla, King of the Monsters, and Skull Island. So the fans might get a chance to watch one MonsterVerse film per year in the future, if they continue to be successful at the box office. There is a need for extended production and post-production stages because of the VFX, which is required to bring the Titans to life. The filming of Godzilla King of the Monsters ended in September 2017, and the movie premiered in May of 2019. If Godzilla 3 was announced, they found a director quickly, and the production started by the end of 2019, then there is a chance that Warner Bros. Could hit a 2023 release date. But in reality, it is unlikely for us to see the upcoming sequel in the theaters for a little while. Story. Godzilla King of the Monsters does a lot of work when it comes to the preparation for future sequels. Together with the credits headline montage, there's also a post-credit scene where Jonah Allen, Charles Dancel, comes back to Isca Damara to recover the head that Godzilla knocked off Ghidorah earlier in the film. The head grew back after it was cut off, and just before the end of the film, Godzilla was able to beat the attacker by ripping off all 3 of its heads. But Allen has found a way to create a new life from it by transiting in Titan DNA, which became evident when the consciousness of Ghidorah was used to power Mechagodzilla. Ghidorah sort of came back in Godzilla vs. Kong, and there is a chance that the filmmakers will find a way for the Titan to appear in Godzilla 3. Ghidorah isn't the only dead Titan who has the intent to return to the horizon. In a headline, it was announced that a Titan egg has been found, and it was speculated that a new Mothra might be approaching. Within a short time, the Mothra at first appears to be a larva, then develops into a cocoon, and in the end, comes out in her fully grown form in King of the Monsters. Therefore, to protect Godzilla from Ghidorah, she makes a sacrifice. But there is a possibility that she might come back in the shape of a new Mothra in Godzilla 3. The mammoth-like behemoth and the spider crab monster Skyla are some of the new Titans who, for now, have small roles which might be expanded in the sequel. Following the last fight in Godzilla vs. Kong in the next couple of years, Godzilla will stay on the ground, which could mean that a Godzilla 3 will happen in the future. The addition of Hollow Earth and its monsters could see an increase in Titans showing up topside. These monsters could see Godzilla return to protect humanity once more from the biggest threat. If that happens to be true, it might begin with Godzilla as he guards his territory, which has always been the case so far in all of the MonsterVerse films. It seems most probable that the film would continue where the King of the Monsters ended, since that film addresses Godzilla's narrative more directly than Godzilla vs. Kong does. We still don't know whether the new monster he fights could be another rival. One thing is certain. You should smash that like button and ring that notification bell. But no, Godzilla won't be fighting Ghidorah anymore, since Ghidorah has shown up in spirit in the movie Godzilla vs. Kong and has been previously considered as the final opponent. The most logical conclusion we could make from the things that have happened in the Toho films is that Godzilla could confront Destroya in the upcoming film. Godzilla's biggest enemy is Destroya, which was shown in Toho's films, was made up since a military weapon called the Oxygen Destroyer was used to attack Ghidorah and Godzilla, which was already featured in King of the Monsters. It is an impressive weapon that left Godzilla on the edge of death. Destroya is the only Titan who can move the plotline forward, since he is stronger than all the monsters that have battled the unbeatable and dominant Godzilla until now. Godzilla beating the super strong Mechagodzilla in Godzilla vs. Kong confirms this speculation. You will love these videos next.